What's up, fellow fraggers? This is Prime Nemesis actually talking for the very first time. So today, Frag's official Discord, they opened up discussions about a way to improve match. Before we get into this, let me make this clear. Now let's talk about some of the suggestions that I've seen. Grouping servers. Not a good idea. Not everyone has the best Wi-Fi or cell phone signal to play on a server further away. The game servers are already hit and miss at times, so grouping them into one server makes no sense on any level. The overwhelming request or suggestion is to match players within 1 or 2 levels of one another. Be honest, that's just ridiculous. So many issues with this as a level 13 player. So issue number 1, I'm a level 13 player, and if you're telling me that I can only play 1 up even or 1 low, that means I have to play either a 12, a 13, or a 14. That in of itself sounds great because I can handle that easily. I beat level 12s, 13s, and 14s daily. Not a big issue. I'll just win more. But that also decreases and diminishes the player pool that I'm able to pull from whenever I do want to get into a match. So now instead of waiting 15, 10, 7, whatever, 20 or less second, I'm potentially going to have to wait minutes. Potentially, I didn't say factually, but potentially you could wait minutes before a match will become available. Or you'll play bots, which I don't like playing bots. You get 40 trophies for a win, up to like 10 times, maybe 15. I don't know the actual number, but I know it's limited now because they took away that trophy exploit that so many people use. And then after it goes down from 40, it goes all the way down to 1. I don't want to do that. That's not fun. That's bull game. I don't think that their objective or their goal was to come off as boring. That's my first issue. My second issue is, how do you get better playing people who aren't better than you? You don't get any better. So you want to play people who are close to you in skill level, and I get that. And on the surface, it does sound good. But at the end of the day, for the way that the game is set up, it's for the long haul. It's about a grind. It's about establishing yourself as a premier player on the game. All of us know who Money Well Spent is. All of us know who the Knowing is. All of us know who Johnny Bro is. Creme de la creme. There's so many players to pick from. And the only reason why we know that is because we've either played them or watched them on YouTube or whatever, but we've played them. For the most part, all of these guys we've played. If depending on what server, the best player on your server, you know who they are. There's a reason for that, and you want to match up with that, and you want to improve and get to that point, that level, so that way you can take. Space Unicorn is somebody that's just an amazing fragger. He's also an amazing YouTube content creator, but I want to beat him, and the only way I can beat him is to play him. That's it. You can't beat somebody because you never played them. So that comes to my third point. What would motivate you if all you play is the same skill level or just a tad bit more or just a tad bit less? What motivates you to continue to grind? Again, like I said earlier, the game is about longevity, and the health of the game is based on longevity. So when you dominate a specific arena for X amount of time, what motivates you to climb up to the next level just to get on? There is no motivation there. There's no reason nor want to climb higher and be better, which is the whole point of the game. Okay, so another suggestion that I read was, I'm not going to read off the username, whatever, because I don't think that's fair. But how about in ladder matches, all cards are the same level? In some other modes, you can use your card level. That's ridiculous, people. Come on. Come on. There's so many things wrong with that state. The ladder is the main mode of Frag. It is the main mode. 2v2 is not the main mode. Street Frag, Payload, these things are not the main mode. The main mode is the ladder. So when you upgrade your cards, it's with the ladder in mind. What's the point of upgrading your cards if they're just going to be reset to the same level every time you play? There would be absolutely no point, and there's no game mode that you're going to come up with that's going to hold the interest of the long-term player at all. And I'm not speaking to you short-term players who have absolutely no desire to play this game for maybe 2 months and then they call it quits because it's just too hard. Just too hard. Come on, man. Grow up and play the game the right way and understand that there's going to be players better than you. You're not going to be the best, and even the best can be beaten and have been beaten. There should never be a consequence for someone who grinded and played the game the right way for their grind to not count. Should never be a consequence. You should never consequence the higher level players to satisfy the lower level players, because the higher level players are the base of what this game feeds off. It's the foundation of the game. Without the OGs or the people who's been playing for a little while or the higher level players, the game would fall completely apart. And so when you start talking about pure skill based matchmaking for a game like this, you're telling us you want the game to have a death sentence, because that's exactly what would happen. So many games went that route quickly changed because the backlash from the community wasn't good and the games became stale. I like playing against higher level players. Also like squashing a noob because I earned being able to squash you by grinding and playing the game the right way. Which then brings me up to a new topic that was brought up in the forum as well, was people were upset with what they call wallet warriors or PT or pay to win. And that part kind of doesn't really matter. Yes, pay to win, you get to level up quicker. But shouldn't you? Shouldn't you be allowed to level up quicker whenever you're paying real money to play the game? That real money then goes to the developers maintaining or improving servers. Does it not make sense for a person who pays for a battle pass to have an advantage or to get something for it? That makes sense. It's funny because in the Discord, what I'm reading is a lot of free-to-play players making demand. Who are you to make a demand when you haven't made or paid any money? You haven't made the game any money. 90% of you are not watching the ads in the game to create revenue for the developers to give them any motivation to fix whatever problem there is. See, the moment that they stop making money is the moment that game dies. They have absolutely no reason to continue to maintain a server or to continue to make adjustments or to continue, well, we won't say continue with them, but to fix bugs in the game, because it takes them forever to fix a bug. But looking down on someone who's paying for things in the game is ridiculous as well. And then to be upset or want them to be punished because they paid is absolutely mind-boggling. Who are you to make that demand? But that's what I see in Discord right now, that the free-to-play players want their demands met because the game is just too hard for them to. It's supposed to be a challenge. Why are we upset about a challenge? That's the whole point of playing a game that's 1v1 is the challenge. Can I beat you? No, today I can't. Tomorrow, maybe. We'll see. So I'm pretty sure a lot of you are wondering, what is your suggestion, Prime Nemesis? What do you think needs to happen? First, leave the ladder alone. It's perfectly fine the way that they matchmake. It challenges you and you learn how to be a better frag. Let's just put that out there. But people who want an even playing field, I do think should have that option. So my suggestion is to have a game mode where it's just a duel based setting. You enter into that mode. I guess you can put the most overpowered cards in your lineup if you want to. I don't know. The developers can figure all that out, but you could have a duel mode that has a leaderboard that has nothing to do with trophies. It's purely wins and losses in that mode only. You only get 120 trophies, just like any other game mode, for a day. But beyond that, it's playing only for the leaderboard. Whatever prizes or rewards that the developers want to give to the top 3 players, or if they say 5 or whatever, that's on them. But at least then you can say, well, I was #1 on the leaderboard for duels, and I guess if that makes you feel like you're the better fragger, and you probably are, then go for it. That type of environment doesn't do anything for me, but it does make it completely fair. Everything's set at a level 9, bases are a level 9, no implants, no frag powers, just pure game. I don't think that that would last very long because people would get bored with it unless they're just die-hard duelists that like to duel, like Asian Andro. The dueler, he loves dueling more than he likes playing the ladder. Of course, he has to play the ladder in order to upgrade his cards a lot, but I mean, from what I've seen, he's one of the best duelers out there. For people like him, that makes sense. People like me, it doesn't. That's not what I want to do. I want to play lower levels, I want to play even levels, and I want to play the higher. The only way that I know I am improving or not. But also, just thinking, I need to go back on a point. Skill-based or level-based matchmaking, where it's just +1, -1 on either side of your actual level. What happens whenever you become a max level player? You're a level 16. Well, you can't play a level 17 because those don't exist. Now all you can play is 15s, which again, your player pool worldwide is super small at that point. You're not going to find a game. So now they just not supposed to play the game. Hopefully you guys can actually see the issue with 1 or 2 levels being the requirement. And maybe if you win 5 or 6 of those in a row and they give you a win streak, and then, you know, now you get to play someone just a tad bit higher. But if you're a level 16, there's nothing higher for you. There's nothing beyond that at this point. There's nothing higher than a 16. Now, one of my last and final points about the matchmaking system currently that I think that a lot of people are really overlooking is the current meta in the game. You have Zapkesh, you have Stella, all 3 OP cards that at lower levels easily defeat a max player card, right? Zap Girl at a level 11 can eliminate a max level Andro with 3 shots. Three shots from a distance. We're not counting her her zap towers. We're not talking about Stella, who can just continue to burst fire with stars that follow you and then fly around and completely annihilate you. We're not talking about Takeshi with the right implants, with his overclock frag power and his ability to completely wipe off a level 16 Lucha Muerte, who is the tankiest card and can wipe him out within a matter of seconds. Those things even the playing field, folks. Like, those even the playing. There are level 9s and 10s out there with a level 12 Stella owning max level players right now. Not owning them completely, but they're more than holding their own. I've ran up across people that are running a Stella, Takeshi, Zap Girl combo, and I have a hard time no matter what their level is, because those are overpowered cards. And while that may not be just on matchmaking, you have to consider that whenever you have a level 11 guy going up against a level 15 guy, and he's absolutely handing it to the level 15 because he's running some old school cards because he doesn't want to join the new meta because he doesn't agree with it. Or even if he was running it, it still evens out the playing field to where you do have a viable chance at a victory more than what you had in the past, especially if you played the event for the implants or you unlocked a few frag powers. Those things are coming free, then more often than what stuff came for us 6-7 months ago. The current matchmaking system is perfectly fine. Frag wants to fix their game. Let's focus on balancing the card, making it more viable to run a wild card. Or I don't know, whenever you hit attack, your attackers actually attack the base that you're pressing, because you know we have issues with bugs. But matchmaking is not and should not be the priority of this game right now. It should be fixing the card levels, or I'm sorry, the card balancing, where you can play with more cards, which they've tried to do with implants and frag powers. I'll give them credit for that. And it should basically be fixing bugs and fixing server issues. But matchmaking isn't the problem. The problem is that there's too many people who are lazy and are whining about being overpowered whenever all they have to do is continue to grind. You can't be handed things all your life. You just can't. Anyway, before I sign out, I just want to ask that you guys leave your comments or your suggestions down below. Let me know what you think, how you feel about it. I'll try to respond. If I don't, oh well. Prime Nemesis out.